future. Welcome to Apex.
Hello, everyone. We have a big announcement. BlackRock confirms 80% of all Americans could soon access 401K crypto alternatives. And is XRP included? Well, you better believe it, right? But we'll provide you some evidence. So consider smashing that like. Back with Jesse of Apex Crypto Insights. Let's get into the material and why it matters to you. So what we see here is an announcement. Big shout out to Diana again. I'm sharing a lot of clips from Diana, am I not? So give her a follow. She can be followed over at Invest with D. She points out what we just stated. During a recent Fox Business interview, BlackRock head of retirement solutions, Nick Nufus, revealed a massive shift that could open crypto exposure to the retirement plans used by most Americans. About 80% are in defined contribution plans. This is the main retirement system for everyday Americans. That is true. And now the U.S. Department of Labor is pushing a new rule that could unlock crypto inside 401ks. I mean, in reality, to see that XRP is included, of course it's going to be included. You know, there's obviously things like I Trust Capital, right? Which is basically a crypto Roth IRA. So, but now we're getting more of that mainstream. So BlackRock says the goal is to level the playing field so regular 401k savers can access the kinds of investments like crypto that public pensions or plans can already do. All right, so we're going to jump down to the clip. Let's go ahead and play this again. It's just kind of like, it's 12 seconds. So, you just got to catch it, right? All right. So here we go. I'll boost the volume when we chop it up.
BlackRock Global Head of Retirement Solutions and Head of LifePath, Nick Nfusi, joins me now. Looks to me, having a casual glance at this, a vast expansion of the stuff that I can put in. Well,
all right. So he says that there's going to be looks like to him there's going to be a vast expansion to it all, right? Well, look at this. Here's the other part that's part of the piece of the puzzle. Diana also posted on the 31st, okay, that you had the DOL who officially proposed opening a 401k to crypto, and XRP can be included. The United States Department of Labor has formally proposed a new rule that can make it easier for the 401k plans to include alternative assets, including digital assets like XRP, BTC, and so on. But the 401k market holds roughly 10 to 12 trillion in retirement capital, which can flow to the crypto market. Again, this is not billions. These are trillions, everybody. And again, what's going to happen for the next 60 days? Well, public comment periods run through roughly late May. After that final version, we could basically see this come later in 2026 with the implementation potentially stretching into 2027. I remember Mr. Mann, when we did our collaboration with Bolt and Smoke, he was pointing at some of this out in 2027. But there's more to come. And where's the citation on this? Let's pull this up and then we'll have Jesse chime in on this one. We see here basically you have the Department of Labor, as you see right here. Okay. And this was originally published on March 31st, 2026. So again, Department of Labor, Employee Benefits Security Administration, fiduciary duties in selecting designated investment alternatives, democratizing access to alternative assets for 401k investors. So boom, there's the proof. And again, proposal implements Section 3 of Trump's executive order. So very important to share that. I think there's one more piece to it. And then again, Jesse, by all means, we'll kick it over to you. We see here also in that document, holdings and actively managed investment vehicles are investing in digital assets. And bottom part, digital assets are a new form of investing that includes a wide variety of assets that can be stored and transmitted digitally, including cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and other tokens. But we just mentioned, obviously, like your XRP. So definitely want to get some insights from Apex Crypto. Drum roll, please. Insights. Take it away, Jesse.
Hey, everybody. Nice. Thank you. Hey, guys. Yeah, so it's big, right? It's the 401k, like 12 trillion. So if only 5% goes in, that's literally like 600 billion. But since if you put 600 billion in purchase into crypto, the market cap will do maybe what? 30, 40, 50, 100x or 50x? Because it's not, it has to do with the liquidity rate and the, what's the word I'm looking for here? But anyways, like a 600 billion purchase in crypto will not just increase the market cap by 600 billion. It'll do like a 30, 40x, let's say. I can't remember what's the word I'm looking for. But anyway, so, and then you've got BlackRock. They own like what, 95% of the world. They decided when the pandemic starts and when the pandemic ended. I mean, these are very, very, very powerful, like pretty much the most powerful aside from the BIS and the World Economic Forum. And so BlackRock literally saying that, what was it there? My goodness. What the heck were they saying? Help me out, Max. Help me out. What did BlackRock say?
In regard to the 80%?
Yeah, they said 80% is what did you just show about BlackRock?
Well,
Literally,
basically that they're going to do 80% of some of these like in 401k form. So that's like over 10 trillion that'll be represented on chain, but in the form of a 401k.
okay,
That's
yeah.
major.
So I mean, BlackRock, yeah. So it's eventually all the money, everything's going to be tokenized, or it's what we're saying. Like, it's the first time that we could invest before the average individual and before the corporations and before the big guys. But the problem is mainstream media was not telling people. So what I don't like about this though is that literally people are going to come in maybe in Bitcoin through a 401k maybe at the end of this year or early 2027. And if we get a ramp up before then, well, they might be buying the top for the next few years. Depends if they buy Bitcoin or XRP, but it's unfortunate, right, that people are just trying to find out now rather than many years ago. But yeah, it's very big. Like all the money's going on blockchain. That's what we're saying, and this is more evidence of it, that all the money's going to blockchain. So super cool.
Yeah, no worries. And what I was going to also share with you guys is some more updates. Okay, and it is super cool. I agree with Jesse. It is super cool. So what do we have? Well, big shout out to Diana Yen. Okay, this lady has been a very busy queen bee. Okay, so what does she have? At the time this was breaking, South Carolina governor candidate backs crypto tax payments and blockchain adoption. Leading South Carolina governor candidate, who is this person right here, Alan Wilson, okay, just announced plans to embrace blockchain, support digital asset banking, and explore crypto for tax payments. We need to modernize, embrace blockchain, explore crypto for tax payments, paying taxes with crypto, state-level digital asset banking, blockchain used to reduce fraud and inefficiency, all on the table. This is how crypto adoption actually happens. Well, I'm going to say it's the only way, right? But yeah, it's a good example. And so there's the tweet basically explaining what was just mentioned from Diana, but definitely wanted to at least show the proof. And that, again, if you're wondering how long ago this was posted, April 4th. So these are new developments that we definitely wanted to share, obviously, with the community. Now, before I kick it back over to Jesse, another announcement. Very important that we explain this because, let's face it, getting into the new week, what's going to unravel, especially in April? Well, breaking at the time, SEC and CFTC chairs, plus Coinbase. A lot of people are not a big fan of Coinbase nowadays, right? To join closed door stable coin panel. And would it be this Monday? Well, you have, for example, Paul Atkins, you have Chairman Mike Selig, and obviously Coinbase's, you know who he is, right? We don't even need to highlight who he is. But basically, they're going to join all these people for U.S. policy. And they're all officially set to participate in an invite-only digital summit this Monday. And this is organized by Blockchain Association, which is the unified voice of crypto industry. Okay? So interesting to see that. And also, from a legal perspective, Jesse, we have Vanderbilt Law. Like, you don't say. All right, key focus, stablecoins, payments, digital dollar regulation. So many people felt as though that we wouldn't get a CBDC, but we get a digital dollar disguised in the form of a stable coin. Some people call it the Trojan horse, call it whatever you want. But what do we have? This lands exactly as the Clarity Act is stuck on one issue, stable coin yield. And it is stuck on that issue. Over on the Coin Vault, myself, Rob, and Rue have been covering this a lot lately. But if you're wondering about this, Coinbase has specifically joined the panel, which is called Stablecoins Policy, Payments, and the Future of Money. We also have the session that will be moderated by an FDIC governor, senior advisor, signaling direct involvement from U.S. banking regulators. So these are the things that we need to point out. Okay, more to come, but nonetheless, she went ahead and highlighted some of these key images and clippings. So we did mention Vanderbilt Law School. They pointed out Vanderbilt University and Blockchain Association are excited to jointly host this summit on the cutting edge of digital assets, et cetera, et cetera. And basically, we see here this is going to happen in 2 days, or depending on when you get the video, it may happen on the day you get the video. Okay, April 6, 2026, and in the fireside, it's going to be CFTC Chairman Michael Selig. There's various moderators here. There's another piece of the puzzle. I need to highlight that as well. Give me a moment. Here it is on the other screen. So you see here, fireside chat with who? Boom, SEC Chairman Paul Atkins. And again, you even have some of the panelists. You have some of the PayPal mafia, right? You have Amy Kim, Global Head of Policy and GR for blockchain, crypto, and digital currencies, PayPal, you name it. You have some of these other people like Robin Cook, Director of U.S. Policy at Coinbase. So again, interested seeing this. And we also have at the very bottom, I don't know why this wasn't highlighted, but it's worth it. Bart Smith, CEO of Avalanche Treasury. So Avalanche is having a say with this. Avalanche, you guys know, their CEO recently on April Fool's Day, call it an April Fool's joke, call it whatever. He recently was mocking Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple, right? And then Brad Garlinghouse recently said something like, glad to know that we're living rent-free in your head. Anyway, Jesse, want to get some of your thoughts on this? And if anything, yeah, we're going to share maybe two more things and close it out. Take it away.
Yeah, all I would say on that one is that literally they better pass this Clarity Act before the midterms, because if they don't pass it before the midterms, it's not going to be good in my opinion. And I don't know, like, do they end up just giving a banking charter, banking license to Coinbase, something so that, you know, they can get their returns and the banks can keep offering, you know, yields and stuff like that. So this is going to be passed. So like somebody's going to have to budge. But it's interesting to see how much Coinbase has pushed here. It's crazy. Like Coinbase is blocking the whole thing going through, right? And yeah, anyways, that's all I'll say there. And people were like not impressed with Coinbase, obviously, right? So yeah, that's all, man. Like they have to get this true. They have to get this true. This is ridiculous. And the banks are not going to budge. The banks are not going to lose control to the exchanges. They've never lost controls in 1,000 years or 500 years or however long banks have existed. So they're not just going to give up control. So, you know, somebody's going to have to budge, and it's likely not going to be the banks. So we'll see what happens, but it needs to go through. I think it will go through, but my goodness, the Trump administration has done everything possible to put this through. So that's all I have to say on that one.
Well, guess who agrees with you, believe it or not? I'll tell on him. Because if anything, it doesn't matter if I'm telling on them or not. Can you name two guys that we collaborated in the past, not that long ago, who also agree with you on that this is going to have to pass and it's going to pass soon?
I don't know. We collaborated with, well, is it Smoke?
Yep. And also Mr. Man. Yeah. They were both asked by Molt in our collaboration that we did on Tuesday, I believe. They were asked that question. They were asked basically like, hey, do you feel as though that it's going to be soon? And then not only do they provide their opinion, but they're like, here's literally what's going on now, especially Smoke. He shared some key dates. And then, Mr. Man really pounded it home. And he even shared, Jesse, like I shared like what's happening in Europe. Like we're all focusing on obviously what's going on in the US, but like then I went further. Hey, here's what's going on in Europe. And then Mr. Man, he was just like, hold my beer. And he's like, here's what's going on like in the Orient and Singapore and so on. So like the world is literally ready to flip that switch, or multiple switches to say the least. So yeah, I agree. They totally need to get this going on. And especially if Trump really wants the United States to be the crypto capital of the world. And it doesn't matter if it was Trump, right? I don't care what president it is. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. We want to be the crypto capital of the world. We need to be the crypto capital of the world. Well, if for that to happen, yeah, guess what? We kind of need to get some stuff in place. So back to what you said in regard to the midterms.
It has to. It has to. If it doesn't pass before the midterms, we're screwed, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't look good. All right. So guys, here's the icing on the cake. Just two more things, and then we're going to wrap up the video. It's not going to be a super long video. Basically, you have this from Franklin Templeton, and they updated this. Okay. I want you guys to see this firsthand for yourself on the update, because it's
Max, so sorry to cut you off. I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I said here. When I said if it doesn't pass by the midterms, we're screwed, I was referring to the Clarity Act, like likely won't pass the way it's set up right now. I wasn't saying that if it doesn't pass, we're not going to have this crypto innovation. We're not going to have this utility run. Crypto is not going to be, I'm not saying we're not going to go into the fourth industrial age. I'm just saying this Clarity Act helps with the money flowing in. And it's not like, oh, if it doesn't pass, we're screwed. Crypto's not going to do nothing. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying if it doesn't pass, Clarity Act likely won't pass if it doesn't pass by the midterm. That's what I meant, because I didn't want people to panic, right? And say, oh, Jesse said if it doesn't happen, blockchain's not going to happen, because people put a lot of trust in what we say. So I just wanted to clarify that. Sorry to cut you off and go back to something. So
no, good. I appreciate the clarity on that. No pun intended. All right. Yeah. All right. So we have an update in regard to Franklin Templeton. They updated this on April 2nd. So here's the date, just in case you haven't seen it. This is Franklin Templeton press release details. And in the details, again, this is from the original document where Franklin Templeton did what? They selected Aladdin. Now, I did a deep dive on Aladdin, and you may see an end screen card that will take you to that, okay? Really deep dive. I mean, one of my deepest of all deep dives ever. But Franklin Templeton did select Aladdin at that time, and boom, Aladdin by BlackRock to unify its investment management technology. As Jesse would say, you don't say. Isn't that interesting? Okay. And we see here you have at the time Franklin Resources, New York Stock Exchange, which is basically BEN, Global Investment Management Organization operating as Franklin Templeton, has selected Aladdin by BlackRock to unify its investment management technology platform across public market asset classes. So to me, Jesse, like all this is coming together big time. And here's the icing on the cake. Big shout out to Professor Ripple Effect. Give him a follow over at PROFRIPPLEFFECT. He points out the reposting from Brad Garlinghouse where we have clear validation. And notice this on April 2nd, by the way. Clear validation of Ripple Prime's strength, reliability, and tech with today's investment grade issuer rating from Crawl. Momentum builds when markets recognize these things. And what does it say? Well, global credit rating agency Crawl assigned Ripple Prime an investment grade issuer rating BBB, reflecting the financial strength, business expansion, and disciplined execution of our growing prime brokerage platform. So again, are we not talking about some of this stuff? We are. Built at the intersection of traditional and digital asset capabilities, Ripple Prime is meeting the demand for trusted, well-capitalized prime brokerage services. With this rating, the market is taking notice. So what are we talking about, Jesse? Come on, brother. We just talked about how BlackRock confirmed 80% of all Americans can sue and access 401k crypto alternatives and XRPs included. And now you have Ripple Prime, and then you have all this, and you have all that. My goodness. It's just another thing coming out. And they're just boom, boom, bang, bang, man.
Boom, boom.
That's what it is. It's boom, boom, bang, bang.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Maybe you're speechless on that one, apparently, right?
No, I was debating if I was going to say a joke or not. I was going to say, Max, did you take your medication?
Well, you take your medication.
The reason I was
No. Oh, we're going to go there? We're going to go there? Did you take your wake-up pills, my friend, Mr. Struggling to see if... What did we talk about, Max? Or are we talking about BlackRock confirming 80% all banks? Help me out here, bro. Help me out here. Yeah.
Max, it's too much alpha. You're giving too much alpha. I'm having a hard time processing it.
Okay. All right. Do you have any closing comments?
No, that's it, man. All the money's going to blockchain. All the money.
I agree.
For me, when you're going through all this, I'm always thinking like, wow, 2026, 2027 is going to be extremely interesting. Like, because it's all coming together right now. And that's what Gilbert and Quant said as well. Like, 2026 is the year where we go from literally pilot to live at scale, right? So every time we go through all these deep dives, we're going through everything, I'm like, man, everything's coming together. From literally the 401ks for tokenization of everything, from these massive projects going live involving multiple central banks, and then secure asset transfer protocol and quant fusion and quant mainnet. And like, it's just, yeah, I'm just, every time that's where my brain goes, like, man, oh man, the end of 2026, 2027, we could expect some fireworks, hopefully. That's it. That's all I got.
That's not all I got. We'll wrap it up here soon. Did I take my medication? Yeah. Did you take your 5-hour energy? This is why people are about to see a Greta Thunberg clip right now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's right. We just played that.
Stop rapping and do it.
Well, on the edited version, right? Anyway, she just said she just said how dare you? Yes, how dare you? So make sure you take your 5-hour energy, and obviously you want to say some more, so go ahead.
No, I was just saying I wish I could mute you, but you have the admin control on the stream, so literally I can't.
Oh, you want to mute me? I see how it is. I see how it is. How dare you? Greta Thunberg, right? Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. But, if you guys listen to the entire outline, simply do us a solid and simply type in this key phrase into the comments, and that is 5-hour energy. And it lets us know who's really paying attention and who isn't. As the saying goes, know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. May the Lord